My name's Chris Moore.
Hi, my name's Lester Gliding.
Hello, my name's Sakura Wesley, and I go by Connor.
My name is Destiny Linklater.
My name is Bethany Kazadjian.
My name is Lavina Mishni.
She, her. Honestly, I don't mind. Call me whatever.
He. Of course.
He, him.
I go by she, her, but I don't really care if people call me like guy or they, them.
My pronouns are they, them.
They, them.
16.
I'm 20 years old.
I'm 18 years old.
I am 19 years old.
I am 20 years old.
Where are you?
18.
I'm from Hearst, Ontario.
A reserve called Monument Lake First Nation. It's 500 kilometers away from Thunder Bay. It's a fly-in reserve.
I'm from Mishki-Gogaman and Cat Lake.
I'm from Couchiching First Nation.
I'm from Fort Severn First Nation on the coast of Hudson Bay.
Here and Mishki-Gogaman First Nations.
Identity is Indigenous, transgender, male.
I identify as female.
I identify as Two-Spirit.
Me. I am an Indigenous gay person.
I discovered my gender identity. I identify as gender fluid. I went transgender when I was 13, and I decided that I didn't really want to be male, so then I figured out I'm just gender fluid. I feel masculine and feminine some days. And for my sexuality, I am unsure, but I'm pretty sure I'm gay.
I discovered my sexuality since I was 11 years old.
I sort of discovered it in middle school. I found it more appealing to be more masculine. I would always wear boy clothes, I would always want to do guy things, and I just sort of felt more comfortable being him.
I kind of always knew it, I guess. When I was younger, maybe like 6, 7, I liked a girl, and that's how I found out that, yeah.
I discovered my sexuality through looking at a girl.
With the gender, I never really fit into a box, I guess. And the sexuality, I just liked who I like, so.
I got comfortable when I found out that my other siblings are queer as well, and we just accepted one another. It's just, I don't really have contact with my parents, so I have no clue how they feel about it, which I don't care. I don't seek their validation.
My friends who were females made me feel like they know for a long time. So they brought up to make you feel more accepted.
I'm not entirely comfortable right now, but I'm getting closer. Like, a lot of people are supporting me, so I'm starting to feel more confident, like he, him, and just slowly dressing like a guy, so.
I got comfortable with my sexuality because my mom is like really open to it. Her auntie was queer, and she always went to pride parades with her.
So I grew up very sheltered and in very homophobic homes, and a lot of the time I never was open about my sexuality or my gender identity as a Two-Spirit person. Nor did I really know what Two-Spirit was at the time, so I identified as bisexual, then transitioning to pansexual, then transitioning back to just being a lesbian. But I found that none of these identities really fit me. None of these identities resonated with me at all. Until I found out there was an identity for specifically Indigenous people. and the duality we experience in terms of being able to walk into worlds, like being in our traditional ways in a very modern society, and how I survive through being able to disconnect yet reconnect. It's a very difficult thing to explain, but Two-Spirit in and of itself is more of a spiritual thing relating to Indigenous people. So when I found out about that, it really resonated with me, and I became more confident in my identity as a Two-Spirit person and the roles that I carry. So yeah.
I don't think I ever gave a heck. So yeah, that's my answer. I never really questioned it too much.
If I die alone, I die alone. I mean, it's not very important to me. I mean, I identify, I guess, as, let's just say, bisexual, but I'm still deciding.
My sexuality is important to me because without it, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Very important to me personally, because this is how I see myself, and others will see me too as this person, and I'm proud of it.
Honestly, I don't really think of it that much. I don't know, it's just a part of me like everything else is.
It's kind of really important because I need to find other people who are like me in order to like fall in love. To me, having that understanding of my sexuality means that I know who I can be attracted to, I know who I can't be attracted to, I know that there's a community of people like me, and I know there's other people who experience the same stuff I did growing up and battling racism and battling homophobia at the same time, and trying to struggle with intergenerational trauma as an Indigenous person is quite the mix. So being Two-Spirit and accepting my sexuality as a Two-Spirit person, it's really important to me because it gives me the ability to connect with other community members and other people who share my experiences. It also just for me, it meant that I have something to identify what I feel inside. I have something to identify what I feel when I look at other people who are like me, and what I feel when I look at really pretty girls. I'm sorry. So to me, there's great comfort in that, knowing that my ancestors were the ones who kind of accepted people like me, who were able to be and exist in that duality. So yeah. Love for my ancestors, basically.
I guess I like people to know and not like assume stuff. I don't know.
I express myself as a depressed gay.
To keep myself motivated, happy, so no one could bring myself down.
I express myself by, well, I don't really know how to answer that question, but I express myself in dressing like a guy and just slowly making strides to be more masculine.
I don't think so. I'm just bisexual. What's up?
I guess, like in terms of, I just make gay jokes a lot. I get to make Indigenous Two-Spirit jokes a lot. With my Two-Spirit identity, I usually just express myself by, constantly acknowledging the land and my ancestors, and constantly acknowledging the privilege I have to live in a nice apartment with utilities and everything included. I'm that fortunate enough to exist comfortably, kind of, as comfortably as you can get for like a 20-year-old Indigenous person. But it's just, yeah, I just exist, I guess. I just vibe. like connect with the spirits and stuff, and I kind of just sit there and listen. It's very spiritual. That's why it's only for Indigenous people.
I guess my appearance with clothing and stuff.
I just told them that when I first came out as trans, I'm like, okay, I'm going by Chris. I use he, him pronouns, and just, you know. And they were very open. Of course, they had the slip ups of she, her, but they corrected themselves. And I just told them straight up. I didn't have much trouble coming out of the closet, honestly, which is a surprise to me.
I came out when I was 19. It wasn't that scary when I told people.
I came out to my friends like not that long ago, but no, I haven't told my family yet because it's sort of a tough situation since my brother isn't entirely accepting of that yet.
I mean, I came out to my friends. I don't really remember how. I just was like, yeah, I like girls too. And then to my family, I didn't really come out. I just told them that I liked a girl, and then that was it.
So I had a lot of online friends growing up, and they already knew I was along the gay spectrum, I guess you could say. But I never told my family since I was in foster care, and since my foster parents were always homophobic and telling me that it was just a phase. When I did come out to them, the only times I've ever actually come out were to conference groups and youth groups, and it wasn't until recently that I actually came out to my dad, to which he was open about it. He was like, yeah, cool, just don't die. Pretty much. And whereas my mom met me with a homophobic slur, but she's still like pretty accepting, and she says as long as I'm not being abused, that's all that matters to her. So my parents are pretty accepting. My friends already knew. That's kind of why they hung out with me. But yeah, I came out through a TikTok video.
No, I just assume that they know.
I was honestly shocked at their reactions. Like, they weren't like, oh my god, why? Or just, you know, just sometimes it can turn violent or insulting, but they weren't. They were open and they were accepting for it.
When I asked them if they know I was gay for the whole time, I tried not to be noticeable, and it was easier for them to accept me.
Their reactions was mostly positive, and they all respect my pronouns and how I am, which is great.
I didn't really care about what people thought of it because I've always got taught that it's a part of who I am, and no one's opinion should matter about it.
I was very scared of how my dad would react, because I was worried that just because since I grew up in foster care, I never had a connection with him, and upon recently connecting with him, I was afraid of coming out and scared that he might reject me and that I wouldn't have a father anymore. But he doesn't care about sexuality. He cares that his child is alive and cares that his child is doing well for themselves. That's all that matters to him. And that was very shocking because I'm so used to my mother's reaction to be met with homophobia, to be met with distaste, but that underlying, well, if they hurt you, I'm gonna beat them up tone that they have. So I was very, I feel very lucky that I don't live with my parents. I don't have to worry about being disowned or kicked out or worrying if they'll love me or anything like that, because I've already spent years worrying whether or not my parents truly love me, but now I know that they do in the only way that they can, and it's not like the love you see on TV, but it's theirs and it's mine. So I'm pretty happy with how everyone reacted to me saying I'm two-spirit.
No one really gives a hoot. Okay. So yeah, no one really gives a damn about that, about me being who I am.
Not anymore.
I was scared that they might not like me for who I really am, because I didn't like it when people called me a faggot. Triggers me. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Because I just didn't want to come off as, oh, what, they're doing it for attention or anything like that. And it made me sort of worry, just, what others think.
Not really, no. I was just scared that I would lose friends if they weren't open.
I was terrified of what everyone else would think. Until eventually I kind of met more with two-spirit people and LGBT2S plus people, other community members, and just talking with them and having them kind of uplift me and instilled some sense of confidence within myself as a two-spirit person. So it was very nice. It changed my view from, oh my goodness, I'm so scared, people are gonna hate me, people are gonna judge me, people are gonna think I'm dirty and predatory and gross, when it's not that at all. And I really worried. I struggled with gym class, I struggled with anything that had to deal with a large group of girls, because I knew if I came out, they would probably think, oh, this big dirty dyke probably likes me or is wanting to see me or whatnot. And that really contributed to my lack of being able to accept myself too. So I was terrified at first, but then eventually I was like, this is, sorry to say, but these are ancestral lands. So if my ancestors can walk upon these same lands and be like, yep, I kiss girls, I kiss boys, I don't care, I love myself and my duality and my spirituality as an indigenous person, then so can I.
I was scared of getting called a faggot. But I haven't been called a faggot, like, directly, I guess. So yeah.
When I did come out, I did have therapy, and also with the support of my foster family at the time, because they were also queer. So they were very open and friendly about it, and they kind of hooked me up with a group in Thunder Bay called the Other 10%. And they helped me and taught me a lot, which I'm grateful for.
I let it out from social media. I was surprised about how many heart reacts I got from them. I got like more than 80. I felt that they know already. So now I don't care about what people say. Talk to them if they care. Talk to them if they care about what people say.
I slowly built that support system as I went along. I started getting closer to my friends who are bisexual, gay, queer, and they all supported me in this, and I'm still not entirely comfortable with my friend, like my family, just right now, but I will eventually come up with my family with their help.
I was always like supported by my mom. So yeah, she is my rock.
When I came out, I only had social workers to open up to which they said, you're probably gonna lean more to one side than the other. Because when I first came out, I said, I think I'm bisexual. And they were like, it's a phase. You'll grow out of it, you'll pick one side or the other. And I guess in a sense they were right, but I don't think it was the side they anticipated at all. But I did have one social worker who had stayed with me from when I was 16 up until present day, and she was like a mother to me, and I've known her throughout my entire time, throughout care from the age of 10. So these women took me in and kind of helped me be confident, a little more confident in myself. And they told me that they loved me and that it wouldn't change how intelligent I am, it wouldn't change what I've got to bring to the table, kind of stuff. Like, they really uplifted and empowered me, and when I needed to fall back on them, I could. And if I didn't have them, I would always watch my favorite cartoon, which was Steven Universe. And that was a very gay cartoon show. And it was my only coping mechanism at the time, because it's also like a musical, so there was always songs that would tell you to kind of take a moment, step back, think about things, and remember that you're loved.
I guess I'm my own support system, really. But since I also don't care about what people think of us, I don't really have much to cope with about my sexuality, so.
Honestly, I feel like this community is very resilient. Honestly, we experience a lot of hate crimes and just discrimination, but we're still here. I mean, you're out of the closet, so good job.
My advice is, honestly, I would tell youth that they should not care about what others say. Be strong and motivated. Ignore what they say. Try to be happy and outgoing. Also, be strong too.
Well, I guess my advice would be to just get comfortable with yourself before anyone else. Like, you should self-care before you can, there's something like along those lines. You know what I'm trying to say. I just kind of struggle with expressing myself or my words verbally.
I think you should just express yourself and just be who you are.
Your ancestors made you the way you are. Don't try to change it. Don't try to deny it. Don't try to hide away from it. You are the way you are. Your ancestors wanted you that way. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought you into this world. That's from my cultural standpoint anyway. They're looking at you now and they're really proud of how much like growth you have done as people. I don't want to say guys because gender. And I can assure you they're probably staring down from the stars or whatever you believe in, that whatever form they take now. They're proud of the progress we've made and the progress we will make. We're here to make change, so let's get it.
Be your own person and I don't know, think for yourself, I guess.
I honestly think we're just very open and friendly, and we're honestly unfazed by most things, and also because it's Gen Z, we're just unfazed by most things.
I do. I had a friend that he got bullied like many times. For the past few years, because there is no support back then. This year there is more support. I remember this guy told me he'd been gone through a lot, and now he's having more support this year. Now that he is older and being proud for who he is.
What I would tell them is, I think we're pretty great, honestly. It's sort of tough, but I guess I don't know.
Two-spirit people are meant to be here. There's a reason we're born with two spirits. Everyone else carries a heavy spirit. That's why we're gifted with two, so we can rely on both of our spirits to help the community, to heal, to grow, to connect with each other. That's our purpose, is to make sure that we're protecting our children, we're protecting our women, and we're empowering our men, our warriors, and we're giving a place for our Two-Spirit Indigenous people too. We're the ones with a sacred role as well, just as women are with the ability to give life, the water bearers, the carriers, and the men with their protection and being a warrior and a hunter and the protectors as well. I have both of that in me. I don't see why that's seen as something wrong with some of our communities. But I hope that eventually we'll get to exist in our communities and be open and be proud, because we should be. All of it should be. There's no reason that one Indigenous person can celebrate their role as a woman or a man and disregard the Two-Spirit roles that Two-Spirit people carry. That's unfair. These are just the dialogues I've been engaging in, where a lot of people disregard Two-Spirit identities, or their tribe didn't really accept Two-Spirit people. But it's like, you can't deny that we existed. We still have photo evidence of our ancestors. We still have ancestral blood telling us that, you know, we've always been here and we will continue to be here.
I guess like from my experience, we're pretty open to each other, so yeah. We're open and friendly.
Honestly, my grandfather was a two-spirited man, and he told me how when he was in the city, how he got a lot of discrimination for it. But in the reserve, they were more open about it, because we still have that belief where there are 5 genders, not 2. And those who are two-spirited or transgender are the ones closest to the Creator, because they can see through the eyes of both a man and a woman. So they are seen as sacred.
Well, I know they were sacred or considered to have 2 spirits, a man and a woman. And that's all I really know, since I wasn't too connected to the Indigenous for a long time, but I'm slowly getting there.
I don't know much about like the history, but I do know in like the Anishinaabe Ojibwe culture, two-spirited people are more sacred because they see through the eyes of men and women.
I'm just going off my own experiences and what I know, but I don't know history about Two-Spirit people, because a lot of Indigenous history has been destroyed, silenced, and not really looked into, because we weren't the history makers.
Oh, the story that we heard about the little ceremony of the kid, of when people were the ceremony of when people were, someone was a child and they'd like see if they danced to a drum, a certain song or something. Yeah. That's what they determined if they were LGBT. Okay. Or Two-Spirit.
I'm not too sure, honestly. They just kind of molded together, just seamlessly. Like, I didn't have to work too hard to put those two together.
Nobody would like anyone who are gay and lesbian religious. Mom doesn't support me for being gay, but she told me she still loves me. I'm still her son. I'm still me. I still love her, I still care about her. I understand that. So, yeah.
They're covering my sexuality and my culture. They're coming together pretty well, considering like I didn't know about the history of two-spirited people till as of recently, and yeah, it's great. I like it.
I think because like Anishinaabes they're like real open to it, so I don't know, it just meshes well.
So for me, being Two-Spirit, it's being, like I said, it's having that duality of existing in all these types of roles, whatever they may be. Like, firekeeper is usually a man's role, sitting at the big drums usually a man's role, but when you're Chief Spirit, you can kind of hack that. Just kidding. It's not like a hack tool, but I just make jokes about it because, yeah, because I like to be able to sit with the grandfather drum too and listen to him and what he has to say to me. And I like being able to wear a ribbon skirt and, you know, honor those teachings as well, because as much as I internally don't feel like a woman, I know my body is a woman, and I know that Creator made me that way for a reason. But culturally, it's very spiritual. As a Chief Spirit person, you are a knowledge keeper, you are a healer, so you have to know, you have to be able to acknowledge the land itself, the plants there, the smallest of the insects. You have to be able to see the value in yourself and the life around you, and be able to carry yourself humbly and walk through the spirit world as much as you do the modern society. It's very, there's no way that they can't intersect for me. It's my way of life.
Well, I don't know, I just kind of mix them with whenever I make like skirts and stuff. I have like a rainbow skirt that I'm gonna do soon, to like show reflect myself.